Black screen. Oh, shit. Oh, welcome, folks. Welcome to Black Dragon Biker TV. And as always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book. Howdy, folks. I'm Black Dragon. Welcome to a new edition of Black Dragon Biker TV. And what the hell is going on here?
It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. 100%.
Wow. I don't know.
It's going to be a great show. Already got the audio fuck up, so it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wouldn't
man.
be
I don't
wouldn't
know.
be a show without a fuck up.
I don't
Sorry,
know.
guys. We're like Dibber says. We're waiting for Dibber to brush his hair backstage.
Black Dragon was getting fluffed. That's why he's got his screen blocked out.
I don't know what the hell is going on here, where my screen is. There we go. Hey, man, I got to get the button pushing down. Hey, man, thank you all for tuning in. Glad to have you. We are simulcast on the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos, the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos. You can hear us live there. It is a podcast wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, whatever. We are so pleased to have Dibber in the win from the UK. Dibber!
Yeah.
And I just hope Dibber's on all the time, man. As I tell everybody, Dibber is one of the people that I first saw ever on this thing all those years ago, and he has been a mentor to me. We don't agree on everything, on a lot of things, but he has given me just so much. I'm so pleased and thankful to him. I've got Hollywood from Insane Throttle. Hollywood, we appreciate you. Hollywood has also been a mentor. We got Shaggy, 1%er here. We got Wild on twos. All these guys are just so thankful to have you guys here.
I hope everybody's coasting.
Pound coasting. And listen, we want you to know Shaggy's Corner. That's Shaggy's Corner. We call Shaggy Uncle Shaggy. He's gotten that term from us. Shaggy's Corner is the podcast YouTube channel that you guys need to go look at. He put out something earlier today about the denim jacket, and so a lot of you guys have questions about the denim and the blue jean jacket, etc., etc. I didn't get to see that video yet, but I am sure that he will be answering those questions from the diamond side of the fence and let you guys know how that works. We got Wild on Twos. Wild on Twos is his podcast and his YouTube channel, and we want you guys to make sure to go see that. Dibber in the Wind. Dibber's been doing this longer than most of y'all have been alive, and him and Shaggy go back dozens of years. So,
well, there was dinosaurs roaming the earth when me and Shaggy first hitched up on the old interwebs.
Remember the old Triceratops, man? They could really get some wind.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, man. And old Brontosaurus, man, he was a hell of a dude, that one.
Took up too much road space.
Hey,
Yeah,
Black.
yeah.
That was
Black-
a geezer glide back then.
and of course, we have Hollywood Insane Throttle, Insane Throttle Biker News. He is our biker news aficionado. He covers biker news on HarleyLiberty.com and Insane Throttle. And please tell us your radio. He's also a radio announcer.
WMMR DB Rockford. It's on our app on Google Play. But I just want to say, you guys, tomorrow we're going to be covering a huge story out of Australia. Bad stuff going on out there.
Oh my God! Yeah,
They're trying to pass a law where they'll actually ban tattoos that are club affiliated. So
even
Yeah,
on your face.
I touched on it myself earlier during my live stream. It's a lot more extreme than just tattoos, I can assure you that. I've been in touch with a couple of guys out there in Oz. And this guy out there is a fanatic, mate. Absolute fanatic about it. He's really wants to eliminate the clubs. It goes far deep. It goes far deeper than just tattoos. I can assure you that.
If people don't think it'll come to the States,
Well, it can. I've been trying to get some of those guys from Australia on the show. I've been working on it all week, and it's they have a little bit different thing about going on shows. So we'll see.
Yeah, they're a bit like us, mate. They're a bit like us. They don't like to go public with stuff.
So,
hopefully this brings clubs together, man, because that is some hardcore stuff they're going at.
it's terrifying. So yeah, man. So we got some great stuff coming up, and Shaggy has an announcement to make later on in the show. So let us not forget to do that. Listen, we want this show to be uplifting and about positivity, and we want this show to be about the great things of the Brotherhood of the MC. And a couple of our shows, the last couple of shows have been dark, and maybe even the title to this show might seem a little dark. But that was not really what I wanted to get at with this show. I didn't want to get at darkness. This hasn't anything to do with some of the stuff that we've done in a couple other shows. This really, for me, is I wanted to do some right sizing of some ideas of how motorcycle clubs should operate, how we used to operate. And, this title could have been why motorcycle clubs have so much turnover, or why motorcycle clubs are putting so many people out bad, or why motorcycle clubs are doing a lot of things that we're seeing in today's biking. To me, the cops and snitches, maybe that was a kind of hard line, but I've seen things in motorcycle clubs today, and I wanted to come up with like maybe a list to tell you guys of some of the things to avoid. And I wanted to bring that up on the panel and discuss it briefly, get some of the other guys' ideas if they see things like I see, or just completely off. I mean, like I say, we don't all agree about anything or about everything, absolutely. But we are all in agreement to one thing. We love this lifestyle. We love what we see going on here, and we want to see it do better. So one of the things I'll throw out, so if we want to do a list, so one of the first things I'll throw out, motorcycle clubs today, I think, are so concentrated on numbers, and they're so hungry on being seen. To me, the MC is now become the see me. And it's no longer MC, it's see me, especially here in the States. And we see a lot of clubs that have, I say we've lost our exclusivity, especially in who we let in the clubs or how long we prospect them. And to me, it seems like, especially on my side of the fence, we see a 90-day prospect ship and you're in the club. And there's no due diligence about who you are, no due diligence about where you come from, and no due diligence about really taking the time to get to know someone. I know I see so many of these clubs with these 90-day prospect periods, and boom, you're a member. So one of the first things I would throw out is clubs have lost their exclusivity, and I think they should get it back. I'll open up the table for you guys.
Well,
I was going to say, you brought it up about a lot of times right now clubs are spreading pretty quick, and quality is not their number one focus. I don't want to sum up all the clubs. There's thousands of clubs that are doing things correctly, but there's clubs out there that do spread quick, and I think quality is not too much on top of their game. But also, I brought up social media. It's great for a lot of things, but there's so-called clubs out there that might be recruiting and through the internet, social media, and prospecting people through videos or something, and mailing their patches out to them, and not really getting to know someone close and personal, not really doing the background checks, not really learning about the person, prospecting for a year, 2 years, whatever it takes. So you do see that. So you brought up that point too. And I don't know about the snitching thing, depending on what we're talking about, like more serious snitching. You have people that have more to lose nowadays, I guess, that they may think they're entitled to more and more to lose with jobs, family. Most clubs now, everybody works. So they get scared about something. But I think that has to do with leadership and the people that you fell under and what they represented. If you see everybody above,
it also goes into people being allowed to join clubs without doing the proper prospecting, getting in within 3 months and all this sort of bollocks, you're going to end up with people like that. It's that simple. If you lower the standard, you lower the bar on how to get into the club, you're lowering the bar on the quality of the people that you're going to get in your club.
Yeah.
And if you lower the bar, this is the sort of thing you're going to end up with. You're going to end up with people that are not willing to take it on the chin when the time comes. It's end of story. That's just how it is. If you lower the bar, you're lowering the bar.
It's like I'd rather have 4 quarters and 100 pennies. That's like the old saying in a nutshell.
Another thing too is if you look through history and a lot of these clubs started to talk about prospecting. Back in the day, some guys didn't prospect at all. If you could fight the whole damn club, you could get in, but it was a different era. Sometimes prospecting back then could have been a week, a day. It could have been 6 months, a year. It could have been 5 minutes, and you just didn't know. Back then it was different because they didn't have the infiltration problem. They didn't have the snitch problem. They didn't have the quality. People were different that were joining clubs back then. Today's society, with this intermingling everybody together, and we're supposed to be just one big old lump of soup. Well, our community still rejects that. So a lot of us still believe that this lifestyle ain't for everybody. And by God, it's up to us, especially the us that are the future of the club community moving forward, to continue to move it in an aspect of getting quality people who actually want to be here, want to be a part of this special lifestyle we have, the oldest lifestyle known to man that's lived this long inside of a normal society or regular society. People need to understand that some of the old days or the old school ways, and maybe even some of the old days, need to kind of come back and get those quality folks. It's always the quality over quantity. Yeah, that's a big term, but it's more than that. You got to follow up with it. You got to be a productive member. If you see something that, man, there's just something about that dude, say something. Don't just put your head in the sand because there's too much of that. You're always going to get that one guy that's going to go, oh, man, he's my buddy. I've known him forever. Well, you've known him forever. Well, I don't know him. The other brothers here don't know him. We're going to put him through the gamut while he's a hang-around, and if he can handle that, he seems to pan out, and he can pass all this other stuff he's got to pass, then, we'll talk about the next step. But every brother around that table, every brother in the nation that gets a chance at, through happenstance of meeting this guy, should grill the shit out of him, make him nervous. A term I like to use is, it's your job to try to run the dude off on day one. If he's around on day two, try to run him off again. If somebody, I always say this to people, you can't run somebody off who wants to be there. Those are the guys that ain't going away.
When you talk about how short prospecting can be, I have to talk for a second about this guy and his book. This is Jake, who was a Hell's Angels nomad, and
That was
I
an
think
awesome interview.
I think he might have prospected for one day, and I think it was a very short time because one of the first things he did as a prospect was they I think they were going to go do some business, knock somebody's head off or something, and he was like, "Well, I don't think we should do that, guys," and they were like, "Well, we're going to do it anyway." So he says, "Well, let me be the first one through the door." He kicks the door open and takes one right in the chest, and still went in and knocked the guy out, and so that was his prospect ship. Next day he was a member.
One of the guys in New York, similar situation, wasn't it? He got involved in an altercation and basically was patched in pretty quick as well. Basically stood his ground, defended his brothers, and that was that.
I've heard stories like that, talking to the old guys all the time, like, oh yeah, oh such and such, he joined the club. He prospected, I think, about 2 hours. Something happened. A bike, guy hit a bike or something. One of the brothers' bikes. He went out there, beat the shit out of the dude, took his hat and put this dude's fedora on, and wore it all day. He still got the fedora to this day. We thought that was cool, so we put a patch on him. 40 years later, he's still here. Shit like that. But times were different back then. It's just one of those things where, like my brother Biggie on here just put on here, and him and I've talked about this before, and it's been said several times outside of, just inner club, but out of club too, is we have our bylaws that have standards in them, like the minimums for prospecting and the membership requirements and shit like that. That's for us to know. Those are the bylaws that we put together for the members. We need to quit telling the prospects or the hang-arounds or the people who want to be in our club what those rules are, because all they start thinking is, oh man, they just give me the checklist. I got to do this. 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 And then when that time comes up, they're like, day, say it's a minimum of 6 months. Well, day 181, they're like, okay, so I checked all these boxes. I'm past the 6 months. When am I getting my patch? Well, guess what? You just got another, I don't know, 6 months to a year.
Absolutely. Another thing I would say is there is this idea now that clubs are. It used to be where I came from. I had the card here. We used to have a card to get entrance into our club, and it had VIP on the back of it. And in order to come inside the clubhouse on our so-called bike night, you had to have a club member's name on that card, and you would show that card at the door, and that club member would be called to the door. Do you know this person? Yeah, they can come in, and that club member was responsible for that person and anything that person did while they were in the club. It was an exclusive organization, and we weren't trying to necessarily make money off of having an open clubhouse bar that was going to enrich us, so to speak. What I see now is I see you try to get as many people in and make as much money as you can, and there's no exclusivity to it. You don't know who's in your club. You don't know who's walking around. You don't know, some of the things like we used to let any girl could come in, just about, girls could come in, but we were more peculiar about the guys, especially if you didn't have a patch and you didn't have a motorcycle and you didn't belong to anybody, the chances are you wasn't getting in that door at all. So I'm seeing a lot of commercialism, as I would call it, come to clubs as the emphasis, to me, seems to sway away from the brotherhood. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I mean, I've been to clubs past couple of years that they actually had to vouch for me before I even stepped foot into a clubhouse and in during church. So some clubs still are pretty strict about that, and times have changed a little bit. But I think people judge books by their cover a lot, and they focus on the wrong people by the way they look, and they assume that, hey, this guy seems he could be a cop, and they look at the guy, he looks clean cut, everything in shape or something, and the person who they least expect it, because they're focused on something else or judging people by the way they look, they miss the big picture. People don't take the step back. And sometimes someone like Shaggy that's been around a while, or Dibber, they naturally take a step back and they look at the whole picture, and they can kind of pick apart things of what's going on around them. But a lot of guys nowadays, it's one thought process, one track mind. I notice. Not everybody. I notice some clubs that do that. So.
Well, if they have what the best interest of their club at heart, that's what makes the difference. When you're vetting guys that come into a club, that process needs to be very, very strict, very stringent, to the point of rude. And that whole reasoning for that is if you ain't got a little bit of thick skin to you, me asking you if you're a cop, me asking you, like you might ask a bunch of questions, and I'm like, hey man, what agency do you work for? I'm kind of joking in a way, but in kind of another way, I'm not. I want to see if you're going to slip up and say, oh, well, I work for Alphabet Soup. Oh, shit, oh, well, there you go. I had an incident that happened.
You keep asking, I'll keep playing.
I had an incident that happened to me in a bar the other night. We're sitting there, and a guy sat down, real nice guy, he was polite, and he started out the conversation by, well, I was a white collar guy. Well, he lost me right there, man. I'm blue collar, so, And then he starts talking about riding. Of course, he starts name dropping right away. Boom, boom, boom. And then he goes, hey, man, you guys steal motorcycles? So I was like, I don't know where you get your news from, but you really, what? No. Steal motorcycles. And I played it off as about the best I could, but that was like an odd and way out there question just to ask somebody you've never met before, who's, I was kind of floored by that. And I could think of, no, officer.
Well, if I'm a bit iffy with someone, I'll just simply don't talk to them. It's that simple.
Right.
Yeah, if somebody comes into a room and I don't like the look or smell of them, I don't communicate with them. And if I've got suspicions about them, I'll always let everyone know what my suspicions are and why.
Yeah.
I think another thing that I've noticed, a lot of guys have such a skewed view of what they think this is that they're coming into, and they don't have a good idea. A lot of times these folks that we're bringing in, sometimes you'll let a guy be around because you're like, well, I need this guy in case of he's so difficult, but this guy's ready to give hell when it's time to give hell. So we need this guy, and really the guy is a problem. And when these guys get a actual look at some of the things they're facing these days, when we're talking about time, you got all the alphabets and you got all the anti-terrorist group and all these different kinds of new laws that are giving people hundreds and hundreds of years. And now that prisons have been privatized, used to be life was 7 years. Now life is life without parole. I think a lot of times when these guys get faced with situations that they weren't thinking about, because, a lot of times guys get together, high testosterone, they're not thinking. And when they see what they're facing, then it's this, oh my God, I can't do that kind of time. I'm going to snitch out my brothers. And I think maybe clubs today are not doing a good job of explaining, here's where we are, and this is what you can face. And vetting these people out is why we look around and we see all this stuff happening, like 10 guys turn against each other in the same club. So what do you think
can say that all day long, and you can give them every what if out there. You could say, man, this is the kind of organization we've been labeled. These are the kind of crimes that have been committed in the past. It's all documented. These are the kind of years guys faced. That whole genre. You can throw all that shit out to everybody. Give them all that information. Everybody that's new is going to say, man, I'll do what I got to do. I'll do what's best for the club. And they all play that song and dance. And that's why we say, man, that's such bullshit. Until you're put in those shoes, you don't know what you're going to do. And like I tell everybody to watch that video about not talking to cops and stuff like that. And then the lawyer gets up there and speaks, and then the cop gets up there and he speaks. Man, they're trained, especially the feds, man, they're trained to absolutely just scare you so badly. Like in your mind, you're thinking, well, I am never going to see the light of day again. They're really good at getting the guys that have kids. And I mean, it's the mentality that needs to be taught and needs to be beaten into these guys is, hey, you keep your mouth shut, nobody talks, everybody walks. That's the mentality that needs to be taught. This what if shit is what's making everybody lie to their brothers, because the new guy's always going to say, yeah, man, I'm going to do it. The thing is they're gotcha questions. Every guy I ask that question to, hey, will you die for me? You want to be in my club? Would you die for me? Would you die for my brothers? Will you jump in front of a bullet? And they all say yes. I look at them and man, no, you're lying to me and you're lying to yourself. Will you do time for the club? Oh yeah, man. I'll okay. You're lying to yourself. Start teaching like we taught back in the day. Keep your mouth shut. They're going to separate us and try to talk to us. We know how it works, right? Don't talk. If nobody talks, what do they got?
Absolutely.
None ya.
Absolutely.
Anyone ask questions? None ya. None your business.
Yeah, and it's sometimes, like I said, is what's best for the club. But there's some people out there that have a stake in the club itself, being a founder or somebody that they basically will throw other people under the bus to make sure their club looks good, sounds good. Also, so I mean, it's like you have two. It's like a double-edged sword for some clubs. Not saying the older clubs. So that's something you have to look out for too. Which is,
well, the shitty thing is all the major clubs, and all the clubs that in the past that have made the front page news, they were all infiltrated. It's the only way they can get the bikers, man, because we're such a closed society. Because you had to earn your way to get here. The only way they could do it, they had to treat it like the mafia. They had to get somebody from the inside. Well, those guys that are like the snitches that aren't even they're just informants. They're found pretty quickly because they just ask too much shit when they're not part of the club. But it's the feds that have to go through all that to get here. I mean, watch all your ganglands. Watch anything on the mafia, man. Those snitches like to brag how they did it, and they go through hell to do it, and they get very, very little, but they make a big ordeal about it. Like they just knocked out the entire, top 8 clubs in the United States off this big bust, and what they got was like maybe 10 guys and a whole bunch of people who knew those guys, and then they label as, hey, we got 50 members. No, you got 10 members. You didn't get the club because the club's not into that stuff. What individuals do on their own is their own. Clubs have been following that for years, right? They learned from the 70s and 80s. But the alphabet soup is what makes this all difficult, because they still have it in their mind that we're nothing more than a bunch of drug dealers and bike thieves and murderers and this. Man, I think it's the most asinine thing ever.
Yeah, look. This is something I got here, right? Anyone ever questions whether I've got a criminal offence, yeah? I got something here. See this here? I'll cover up my real name. Right? That meant I went through a system called Disclosure Scotland. Yeah, to get that. That's a license when I had my pub to be able to sell alcohol, and they do background checks on you to see if you got any firearms offences. any alcohol-related offences, any violent offences, anything like that, and you will not get one of those if you've got any of those types of offences, those convictions against you.
Well, see, here in the States, when all the computer systems finally linked up and all the states finally started communicating and the Fed started communicating with the states and yada, 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 you could be anywhere in this country now and get pulled over, and they could tell if you got a warrant somewhere or if you know, you got a criminal background. I mean, they just pull your name, your social security number, driver's license number, whatever. And I mean, shit, you know, they ask for DNA and stuff like that. I tell people all the time, the government's already got my DNA. I put I signed up to be in the military. They took a sample of DNA right then and there.
Oh, mate, I'm not saying the police haven't got my prints from when I was a youth. I did some right dodgy stuff when I was a youth, you know, but as an adult, you know, my record is clean and green, mate. Yeah, although when I say my record is clean and green, you wouldn't think so when I go through airport security.
Mm-hmm. So, airport security, it's time to put lighten this up a little bit. So, funny story about airport security. If you guys like cheesecake, if you like cheesecake, do not take cheesecake through airport security and put it in the X-ray thing. Apparently, it has the same consistency as C4. And my wife and I got to visit the FBI and everybody come out of the woodwork, and it was insane, man. The guy pulls it out. It was in my bag, and we're flying from Reno back to St. Louis, and they open my bag up, and they pull my colors out, and I'm like, whoa, I'm throwing a fit about this because I was coming back from an incom meeting, and they had it's a styrofoam food thing. You can see, they know it's a food thing. They set it off to the side, and I mean, you think that this guy could hear a ticking bomb or something. And he's like, "Is this yours?" And I'm like, "Yeah, as a matter of fact, it is." He goes, "Well, what's in there?" I said, "Junk food for my wife. She loves, you know, they had a really cool pastry thing down there. My wife's Sicilian, so she's like, oh, I want that. So I went and bought her all this stuff. It's Mother's Day weekend, and so she wanted to take some back. Well, when that went through there, it registered as C4. So, of course, everybody's freaking out. They're like, could you open that? And I'm like, well, sure. So I open it up, and they can see it's got some a couple pieces of cheesecake in there, some cannolis because my wife likes some things, and all this chocolate shit she loves. And they got her up against the wall. They're doing swabs on her hands. She's freaking out because she don't fly very often. I'm pissed off because how they're handling my colors. And I'm looking at them going, dude, it's fucking food. And the guy's like, they're patting me down. I'm getting a little aggressive. And man, I thought for sure I was going to prison over cheesecake. So don't let the cheesecake get you in trouble, man.
That's good.
The thing of it is, though, I don't know. Well, obviously, I've never gone through passport security in the United States, but before you can get, I mean, you have to go through baggage control to be able to get the flight side of the airport in the UK. So there are certain things you can't even take through that check or even put through those machines. There are bins there. You have to get a shot of it before you even go through. You know, you can't even buy a bottle of water, airport side, and take it through the baggage check to go flight side in the airport that I use when I fly from UK and I fly off anywhere around the world. I have to buy my water on the flight side of the airport where it's twice as much to buy.
Yeah. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Most abundant thing on earth, and it's one of the most expensive things to buy in an airport unless you're drinking. Then you better go in there with some cash.
Hell on
£5 for a bottle of water. Unreal.
Hell on Two Wheels has a statement. If you need the guy when it's time for hell, wouldn't that make you take a second look at the membership?
What's that?
Say it again.
If you need the guy when it's time for hell, wouldn't that make you take a second look at the membership? Meaning, wouldn't you want to know he's going to be there with you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that comes with time. That's what a lot of people are missing with this, man. This lifestyle comes with time. quality time. You're not going to have a guy could prospect this whole time and never have a single incident happen. Another guy could prospect, an hour into it, and they're at a bar, and next thing you know, shit pops off, and well, you find out then if he's going to jump in. It's the what if things is what kills us, man. We can what if shit to death, but everything is about time and quality time at that.
It can't be planned, and it has to be spontaneous, because a lot of these guys expect something. They're looking for something. They're looking for the tricks. They're looking for the mud checks. They're looking for all these little tricks. The thing is that's when time comes. Just like when I was talking about earlier, when you're riding for like 1,000 miles and you're listening to your music and you kind of zone off and you're just riding and you forget your exit. Same thing as prospect. You want it to be. It doesn't have to be like I'm one of those guys that when someone's ready, someone's ready. You're not going to have them do two years prospecting just because that's what everybody says. You guys will know. That's my belief. But after a longer prospect, it just becomes natural that they're not expecting things. You're just going with the flow. And that's when you see something more spontaneous happen and their reaction to it, though.
Well, I think it's very important for everybody to know that's watching this. I know with the title and stuff, but everybody in the chat room to know, MCs, regardless of what the feds say or Interpol or any of them, are not set up as criminal organizations. Yeah. They're far from it. And the stuff you see on Biker News that I cover, it's individuals. It's not the entire club. Because, you know what, if they were set up as criminal organizations, they'd be given a kicking ton of grief, the outfit, the syndicate, with how big they are. So you guys got to remember that they're not set up as criminal organizations. It's just a few people that do this.
Another thing too with that is in the United States here, I've really learned this a lot through INCOM and COC, what the 1% clubs are afraid of. And it was proven through the case with the Mongols. RICO scares the living shit out of bikers. And I mean, there's no other way to put it, because RICO, how they have curtailed that law to go after motorcycle clubs is really something that, I mean, these guys have figured out how to convict an entire organization without convicting anybody. RICO was designed to go after the head of the table and head of the snake, as they put it, and they just proved that they could use it, with the Mongols case, even though all that stuff's in appellate courts and it's going to be in the Ninth Circuit. But the fact of the matter is, all it takes is two predicate acts to spark off a RICO case, So these clubs are not, I mean, it's one of the taboos to even talk about some of that kind of stuff, because, one, you don't know who's listening, and two, even a joke could get your ass hemmed up. And also, clubs have evolved from back in the day, to the point of going to jail. You can't serve your club. Getting killed, you can't serve your club or your family. It makes no sense to go to jail for some stupid shit you did or a bad decision you made over something so dumb, or to have your brother go to jail just because he just had to be with you and maybe he didn't even know, because they call that an accomplice or you were there. And of course, if you learn the lesson, nobody talks, everybody walks. Well, you're going to do time because your brother did something stupid. So I think a lot of it has to do with that initial training, that initial quality time. Everything is about time.
We don't have any. We don't have anything like RICO in the UK.
Oh, you're so lucky. I'm moving.
Well, another thing, Shaggy has to let everybody know, when you're talking about the Mongols thing, it wasn't a criminal one, but they now branched off from criminal to a civil RICO now. It's getting really messed up. They went through a civil RICO in that one,
which came from British maritime law, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, Dibs and Brits.
It's got nothing to do with us. It's what your own government implemented. They went, oh, that's really good. It's like when I see the Americans using Magna Carta, and I think to myself, Really? Are you really got a grip of what Magna Carta is, or what it was about, or who the agreements were between? It had nothing to do with common man, nothing at all. Didn't give common man any rights. It didn't give common man any privileges. It didn't give common man any protections. Magna Carta was an agreement, yeah, made under duress, right, between rebel barons and a king. It had nothing to do with the common man. And this is a big this is a misconception. When I see people go on about, oh, Magna Carta, and I see Americans use it, and I think to myself, really? Have you got any idea that that was just an agreement that was made between some rebel barons to give them some protections, you know, and a king? Had nothing to do with your common man. Nothing at all.
My ex-mother-in-law was from Whitstable, England. And
yeah, Whitstable, lovely place.
Yeah, she used to tell me, man, Americans bastardized the English language, and
no,
this would obviously go with it. We could bastardize some English
no.
law.
The Americans didn't bastardize. The English that is used in America is Old English. It's Old English. When you spell words like labor, honor, you use the Old English spelling without the U. That's Old English. That's not bastardized English. That's Old English.
Well, that was her way to screw with me, because I used to tell her all the time, look, we whipped your ass 200 years ago, you know, we could whip your ass again type of thing. She didn't buy it, but she could drink, man. I love drinking with my ex-mother-in-law. That bitch could put me on a table any day.
I gotta disagree with Dibs, man. Yes, we bastardize the English language here in Chicago.
No, you bastardize the English language, period.
Yeah, I've listened to some of your shows and your pronunciations, man. You certainly do bastardize the English language.
Well, I did read that Merriam-Webster and those guys decided to go with that spelling just to piss off the Brits. They decided to make us different by going to the Old English.
It is. It's Old English. That's what we used to have before this New English with the U in words like labour and honour and.
Yeah.
Well, I got a question for the panel. Well, for the Americans anyway. What could the club scene here learn from the UK and how they do things?
Be strict. Be strict. Enforce the rules and be strict. Make sure you have coalitions in every region. Make sure they all read off the same book, off the same page, and be strict.
Well,
you know, you got to bear in mind. You know, it's. I mean, the UK is always seen as the newcomer. There's nothing newcomer about motorcycle clubs in the UK. We've had motorcycle clubs for 120 years. Yeah, 120 years we've had to get this right.
So that would mean that you had motorcycle clubs before we did.
Yeah, we did. We had first motorcycle club was in London, England in 1901, and it was called, believe it or not, the Motorcycling Club.
Well, and before that, it was a bicycle. Before that, it was a bicycling club.
It probably was. But I mean, as a motorcycle club, the oldest motorcycle club I've found in the world, it's not the Yonkers in New York, as they claim on their website. They became a motorcycle club in 1903. We had a club here called the Motorcycling Club. They were founded in London, England in 1901. They went on to be a racing motorcycle club, like what happened in the United States. And they are still going to this day. They are still a motor racing organisation, the same as what they were way back in the day, and they're still going. And if you go back and look at their history and their logo, you'll find that they also used to use like a three-piece design. So it had a top ribbon, it had a middle logo, and a bottom ribbon. So that design's been around for a long time.
my thing is, like Dibber says about being strict and everything, and mine I think sometimes feel a little
strict.
safety of in the U.S. I think some people feel more safe about their laws and rights, that we're not going to end up like Australia. We're not going to end up, and we keep losing a lot of these rights and laws that we have the Constitution protecting us, that a lot of people are giving away.
Yeah, but you're already ending up like Australia, because you've got the feds going after your patches.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why people keep thinking it won't happen. It won't happen. I go, it is happening. You know. So that's what we got to figure out. So.
Right under your noses, though. This is the thing. It's happening right under your noses, and it's your own federal government that are doing it. Yep. You see, like I said in my live stream, what I did earlier on about what's going on in Australia, the politicians are wily tricksters. They will always find a way around any type of constitutional protections that you might have. They'll always find a way around it. They'll always use words and terminologies to find a way around it. They always will. Like in the United States, you've got your constitutional rights, but what they're using is the feds to come after ownership of those patches, because once they take ownership of those patches, that club no longer exists.
And what protects us for that is the First Amendment right, and that's what the judge said clearly in that case. He's like, yeah, it's like trying to take the Boy Scouts, patches and uniforms away. The club, you can't take their freedom of speech and freedom of assembly and stuff like that away. Another thing, I keep seeing stuff about the being strict and enforcing the rules. I was having a talk with a brother last year, and I had said something to him. I said, one of the things I was taught early on, if you're going to wear that territorial rocker, and you're going to wear that diamond, and you're going to rep your club, and you're going to carry on those traditions and history and that reputation I talk about, you got to enforce the rules. Quit letting the little shit slip, because it's all this little stuff that builds to be big, right? And I said, there's somebody not wearing something they shouldn't be wearing. I'm gonna say something. If there's somebody who's here that ain't supposed to be here, I'm gonna say something. He looked at me. He said, "Man, brother, are you willing to wear that orange jumpsuit? Though, if you don't know who you're coming up on, you don't know if they're gonna call the cops or whatever." And I told him, I said, "Well, yeah." And then we had an incident happen where we were together, and it was about the lone wolf dude. But, you have to be careful in the States doing this. And a lot of the clubs have kind of, they enforce it, but it's kind of quietly and in the shadows if they can, for the most part. They don't like doing shit like that in public because, man, the cameras is what gets you over here. Shit, everything's face recognition, Hell, they got everything but your DNA through that camera now,
apparently in the UK, we've got more cameras looking and watching people than any other country in Europe.
Yeah,
we're one of the most. We're one of the most
here.
Yeah, we're one of the most cameraed countries possibly now in the world. We got cameras everywhere.
Well, with that said, Dibs, and I'd like to get your answer on this. What is the UK's take on a subject like this with cops and snitches infiltrating?
Well, let's put it this way. I've been in particular places. Obviously, you guys know I don't name drop clubs or whatever, but I've been in particular places, and I've seen new clubs come through a door to be sanctioned, and the very first question they're asked is, "Are there any cops in your club? Are there any members in your club that know cops? Are there any members in your club that have got family that are cops?" Very first questions they were asked, but they also check your social media as well. And I know of people, obviously, like I say, I don't mention, but I actually know of people where it has been found out that the person has got somebody in there that they know that's a friend of their wife, whose husband is a cop, and then they've been given the ultimatum: you take the patch off, or that person's no longer connected to you and your missus. End of story.
Is it a big concern? Is it a big concern over there, or do you guys got a handle on it?
I think the clubs have got pretty much a handle on it. They really do their due diligence over here. This is the thing, it's the clubs over here really do their due diligence when it comes to that sort of thing. They're always watching.
Well,
You
I
know, and
just
there's
want
a lot of clubs over here too that I truly believe that do their due diligence, and I think because of the actions of a few that it's watered down to all of us, and we're all that way. Well, I mean, there's clubs out there that are old clubs. There's some of that are new that do their due diligence, just like Deborah said. You know, I don't, man, I don't want to say it like this, but I don't think the infiltration and the cop thing is as bad as I think sometimes as we make it seem. I think a lot of it's paranoia, and I really hope I'm right on that. But and man, it sure would suck to be wrong. But you know, honestly, I made this joke. Actually, I was talking to a friend of mine out of West Palm Beach, Florida, and he said, "You know what we need to do is make another Sons of Anarchy, except this time make it off of a real motorcycle club, a day-to-day type, a real 1%, you know, deal." And I started laughing, and he said, "Well, what's so funny?" And I said, "It would be the most boring show on the planet." I said, we have epic moments, man. We do epic shit at epic moments. There's a lot of adult stuff that we do day to day. And I mean, yeah, we have fun when we can have fun, but man, what a boring show that would be. He goes, well, you know, it would also show that this stuff that everybody thinks we have going on ain't going on.
Nah.
Well, you know, a question I had for Dibs again. I don't know. Every time I have Dibs around, I just like asking him all kinds of questions because I like history and stuff.
Yeah.
We got the thing with the Mongols going on with the Patch case going to the Ninth Circuit.
Mhm.
But over in Denmark, because you're over in Europe, how were they able to actually come out and ban a club? For us in America, we got the different constitutions and Bill of Rights. But
Yeah, well, they
how
haven't got that, have they? They haven't got that. It was taken into court and it was decided by a judge.
so there's no recourse that they could have, or
Yeah, they could. They could take it back into court and basically try and go for a different ruling on it. But at the end of the day, it was a judge that ruled on it, and they don't have a constitution like you've got in America.
Well, another thing on that too.
I do know that when it went down, I think for the guys in Holland when they used the courts to shut down two major 1% clubs in Holland, I do believe that there was talk that they were going to try and use the European Court of Human Rights, to get it overturned, to appeal it. But whether or not that ever happened, they're still banned.
I can remember.
It's the same as in Germany. There's particular clubs that are banned from showing their colours in public in Germany. It's all done by a judge.
So speaking of those countries like that up there, especially Holland and Norway, just all off the stuff from years ago, I was reading up to a couple years ago when they put that ban, or it was about a year ago they put that ban in place. No clubs.
I don't think it is in Norway though. I think it's in Holland and Germany mostly. I think in Norway, I think they were given an ultimatum. The clubs were, I think, from what I read somewhere before, either you guys learn to get along or we'll come after you. And
well, that's where I was going with this. Man, they over there it seemed like they had no compassion for life or nothing. Man, these guys are blowing up city blocks, and I mean, just some absolutely militaristic, just crazy stuff. And I'm going, shit, man. Everybody bitches about us. We ain't nowhere near as deadly as some guys in Australia.
No.
These guys are
using rocket
brutal.
launchers. Yeah, they were using rocket launchers, man. Yeah. Rocket launchers and stuff like that.
In a place where guns are illegal.
Another question I got is, well, Australia, maybe Denmark, Holland, when they're trying to take the patches away, aren't they shooting themselves in the foot, the law enforcement? Because at that point you go underground and they don't know shit anyway.
The point I made in my live stream earlier on this very topic. I did a live stream earlier on this very topic about what's going on in Australia. And what I actually said was it's they will just go underground. The people that truly are the criminal element, They don't need those colours. They'll just go underground, and the law enforcement will lose track of them. They'll find it very hard to track them. You know, it just make law enforcement's job a lot harder.
Yeah.
Now, is it
just like gun laws, right? Gun laws, they try to take the guns away from regular citizens. The criminals are going to get guns no matter what. They're going to find.
That's right. Exactly. You know, it's the same as what's happened over here. You know, they took the handguns away. Yet, you know, you go up London, you'll find the streets are awash with them, and
Now,
they're
are
all
you-
illegal. The only people with handguns in this country, because handguns are illegal in the UK, the only people with handguns now are criminals and the police.
Now, are you finding, I don't know much about it, Dibs, about over there or in Australia, are other clubs being drawn into this where they can't even have their patches?
There's 46 clubs on the list in Western Australia.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
There's 46 clubs are on that list that are not allowed to fly their colours in public. If they've got tattoos on their face, this is what the guy said. If they've got tattoos on their face, they're going to have to put sticky plasters on them to cover them up.
You gotta be shitting me.
Yeah, or they're going to have to get foundation from the chemist. You know, women's foundation. Put foundation over them and stuff like this. And if they show them in public, then they get I think it's a $12,000 fine. You know,
$12,000 fine.
$12,000 fine. Yeah, and they go to jail for a year and all this sort of stuff as well.
And he said them having that stuff on their face was not his problem. How to get it off of their face or whatever was not his concern. If that's on your face, that's your ass.
Exactly. Well, that's a topic I think we really need to hit, is what's going on in Australia, because we got listeners from all over the world.
And it's been like that for a while in Australia. I mean, I know.
Vlad.
They're taking it to a whole different level now. That's all.
It's getting worse.
Well, this stuff with the tattoos and being on show publicly and all this sort of stuff, that's in Western Australia at the moment. And Western Australia is WA is actually a third of Australia.
Oh wow!
That's how big Western Australia is colossal. WA is absolutely gigantic piece of land, and it is literally 1/3 of Australia.
Wow.
Does any of these? Does this come up in the COC, Shag? What's going on over there?
No.
I've never heard talked about. No. So I mean, you gotta remember, we focus on the COC is about the communities and the state, and INCOM is about the 50 states and the territories that are represented. What happens across the world is, that's what makes the United States, so much different than the rest of the other countries. These other countries, man, the dictatorships and the way their politics and politicians, they could do a lot more than what our politicians can do. We have some corrupt idiots up there that just make laws just to make laws so that they can justify their job. But for the most part, man, that Supreme Court and that 245-year-old document that sits there at D.C. stops a lot of the bullshit that they try to push through. It's one of the things a buddy of mine, a real close friend of mine, told me when he was going through college. He was going to learn the legal side. There are so many laws the United States has that it is virtually impossible for anybody to ever know any of them, and we break probably.
We lost them.
Well, we got a question here from Roadkill Ron, and he said, "I thought I read it's not just face tats; it's back, arms, etc. have to be covered." Yeah, it's anywhere where there is a club tattoo, has to be covered.
Holy
has
cow.
to be covered. If you've got a tattoo on your thigh, it has to be covered. If you've got one on your arm, it has to be covered. If you've got them across your knuckles here, like you see with some of them, like with the 81 where they have the AFA. That has to be covered, and it even extends to jewelry.
Yes.
Right. This is the thing, as I was saying, I was talking to a couple of guys I know in Oz. It even extends to jewelry. You cannot wear a 1% a diamond necklace. You can't wear the rings. You can't have any type of regalia showing. And there is now talk of it even being extended that they can't show affiliations or anything through social media pages either.
And then they have something coming. They also have something where you can't patch over or something. Remember that, Dibber?
Yeah. There were clubs out there that decided to get around the Vlad regulations because the clubs were listed on Vlad, that they would become a different club. You know, and we all know the club that a lot of them became, because that club in the United States is currently going through, you know, through the courts with the feds trying to take their colours.
Oh wow! Okay.
So some of the clubs over there went across to that club because it wasn't on the list.
Couldn't this be considered like a human rights issue at this point?
It is a human rights issue. There's no two ways about it. It's a violation of people's human rights, because what they're doing is they are judging every single person that's in a motorcycle club for the actions of a few. Yep. And it's a very tiny fraction of a few as well. This is the thing, and I also think that when you listen to law enforcement and they talk about the amount of people, members there are in particular motorcycle clubs, I think they terribly underplay the numbers too.
Oh yeah.
They don't give a true. When you think about it, there's a particular club out there. They've got 80 chapters worldwide. Yeah, and then when you do the mathematics about when they say, oh, they've got this many members worldwide, but then when you think about how many chapters they got, how many members you actually have to have in a chapter to be able to call yourself a chapter, yeah, the numbers never correlate. I think they downplay the amount of people there are actually that are MC members to try and make it look that the criminal element is bigger than it actually really truly is.
So they're using other countries' chapters as an example of why they can pass a law over there?
Well, no. What they're doing is, I think what the law is actually doing is they're downplaying the amount of people there are actually in the MC community as a whole, yeah, against how many people are actual committed crimes that are in MCs, if you know what I mean. So what they're saying, they're trying to make it look like there's more criminality within the MC culture than there actually really is.
Right. By downplaying.
They're downplaying the amount of people that are actually in an MC and upplaying the amount of people that are committed. So they're making it look as if it is an organised thing. Yeah. You know, they love to play with the numbers. They're playing with the numbers. They're fudging the numbers.
And what he's saying is very important to know here. The stuff he's saying is very important to know here, because it's just a matter of time before it hits here.
All of us in this room know there are hundreds of thousands of members of motorcycle clubs globally. Hundreds of thousands. Absolutely. Not just a few thousand here and a few thousand there. It goes into the hundreds of thousands.
Well,
globally.
Bid has a question. I think Shaggy would answer this one. Bid says, is there a need for another biker platform above COC's coalitions, which coordinates between countries? What is going on in Australia is of concern to independents as well as clubbers.
No, and the reason being is with the news cycle and the way the news works and the way clubs are and how they communicate and how well they are in touch with each other. Take, for example, a brother from the United States goes to his club over UK or Australia. He's going to get those most from his club. They're going, hey, you can't do this, you can't do this, don't bring this, don't bring this. This is what we're going through. You know, you're going to get a sit rep. At least he should, right? We in the United States, as a motorcycle club community, can help monetarily and stuff like that. Stuff that are lawsuits and stuff like that. In the military, working with the UN.
You're breaking up, Shaq.
You can hear me better now?
You're breaking up. You're frozen. What's up?
Yeah, this shit sucks.
That dial-up of yours is yeah, that dial-up.
Well, what do you guys think about this? Silverback, he just said, and this could be true, man. The next symbols will be a crucifix, Star of David, or crescent. Anything that can be labeled a threat to the greater good will be justifiable. This will infect the entire world if left unchecked.
Remember,
Believe it or not, religion is more protected over here than anything else, mate.
Oh, yeah, religion's really protected.
Religion is protected more over here than anything else. I can tell you that now. We got lunatics running around killing MPs and that with knives and stuff, and we're not even allowed to report it properly on television because it's got to protect them.
Geez, what happened to that guy that got stabbed over there? That congressman or whatever he was.
He was a Conservative MP that was against knife crime, believe it or not. And he got stabbed to death at one of his, public meetings. He was stabbed to death by somebody of a particular religion, and we're not allowed to talk about that religion. They keep playing it that he was a British national, but he wasn't. He was the son of a Somali. So they're protected, mate. Religion is protected. The only religion that isn't protected here is our own. Sorry to bring it in like that, but that's the truth of it.
Well, Shaggy said he had a special announcement, BD, so you might want to hear him.
Shaggy?
Yeah.
Oh, Shaggy's still frozen. Oh.
Am I? Am I still frozen?
You're frozen now.
Yeah.
Let me jump out and I'll do this.
Well, BD can show my
knives.
Technology, my ass.
Okay, so let's take just a minute here while we're waiting for him to get back. Hey, this is you guys know Pac from Ice Cold Riders up there in the cold.
That's my boy.
Ass weather up there.
North Dakota.
Their riding gear he sent to me. I got some cool stuff you're going to be seeing. Here's his rider hat and riderrep.com, I believe. And they have a YouTube channel called the Rider Republic. So this is their gear. You guys can get some of this. This is my size. You know, he knows what size.
All right, I reckon you should buy one of my t-shirts. He says motorcycle clubs are not gangs.
And this is a care package I got from Wild. This is my cool care package. So each package came wrapped with something cool like handle with care, plan to. Oh, you can't say this word. I'll just.
A lot of it you can't say.
Yeah, you can't say this word, but if you want to get rid of something, that's plan two. So I'm going through some particular things. Shaggy's coming back. I was going through some particular things, personally. So he sent me these bags, and each one of these things is important. This is the effort gift. So after all other plans or whatever the case may be, and you just need to say F it, well, here's the F it increments here. So you can just have these increments here. This is the F it when everything fails. I really appreciate this, Shaggy. Wild. Then he sent me this bag of stuff. What the F Life Survival Pack. This is what the F Life Survival Pack. So this is my survival pack.
That came from Wild On?
This came from Wild On, man.
So I got steroids in there, Speedy shirts, Cracker
Jacks here,
and a flashlight.
I got now this package.
A flashlight, did you say?
Yeah.
It's a disco flash. You know it is.
Nice one.
When you need to get out of your head. I haven't even opened this yet, so when you need to get out of
your head, boy.
Let me see what we got here.
You need to tell Pac, man. I'm waiting for my damn hoodie now.
Look at this. Yeah. Oh, Pac said he's sending you a hoodie. Man, he sent me a whole thing of this stuff, man. I'm gonna be warm as hell. But anyway, so this is when you need to get out of your head. He sent me this. So this is cool.
That's a terrible looking bong.
Right.
Tonka.
Looks like room
It's a
to
Tonka
me.
toy.
This is a Tonka toy, man. Okay, all right. So I got some Cracker Jacks here. This here is what the
Sounds like to me the bong's at the very bottom there,
refreshing
Dibber.
mini pineapple. I'm gonna have some refreshing mini pineapples. All right, so I got a moon pie. Come on, man.
Is you already prunes?
In the Navy, we call these fat pills. All right, so this one here.
Took a lot of them then.
When you need people to when you need people to get to the point. When you need people to get to the point. So let's see what this is.
Is it
Oh, that's a good one for you.
All right, here.
Shaggy froze again.
Oh, fuck this shit.
When you need people to get to the point, I guess this is a get to the point cup.
Or
Throw it at him.
actually show up on time for the show. I don't know, maybe.
He was being fluff.
Keep this bag away from. Oh, look at this! I got
Brushing your hair.
What the hell? A bottlenose dolphin?
It's a
When you need
spike
people to
dog.
get to the point. When you need to get to the people to get to the point, you just hold up your. Hey, man. Get to the point. I'm gonna.
Oh, that is, it's one of those little ones. A bit of 420 in there, man.
Okay, so when you need a friend with you, I need my 9mm.
See?
Everybody's in general. Shaggy, what's the announcement?
Oh wow. Okay, so these are my warriors.
That's when you need courage, man. That's when you need
Now
courage.
that's a big gift right there, man. You could really wear a pair of socks.
You're breaking up again, Shaggy. I'm
Shaggy,
telling you,
man.
the damn dial-up you have.
And then let's see. Finally, we have here when you're feeling blue. When you're feeling blue, this is my epic kit. This is my survival kit. Oh man, look at this. Is this harmonica?
Harmonica, Jesus Christ.
And then, hey, got a whole nother box here.
We just gave him a lot of things just to make him laugh a little bit. He was having a hard time the past several months, losing people and everything. So I wanted to send him something just to make him laugh a
This
little
is so
bit.
you can just get.
You wanted that 9mm? I got you one.
Here's my 9mm right here, baby, and it's got adjustable sights. And what is this? This is oh wow, it actually shoots a projectile. Hey man, I like my
whoa. Hey, that goes along with what Best of YouTube just put on here that I need to slow down on minimizing the porn. It's killing my bandwidth.
You use that with your fleshlight.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, Wild man.
No problem, man. We just wanted, my old lady and I, we just wanted to make you smile a little bit and laugh. That's it.
That's all right, man. Shaggy, man, can you talk to us? How you doing?
Good. Life is good. We are super busy in life as we always are, and some things have come up on a personal side here where I'm going to be taking a break from the education and stuff of the YouTube things. I got some family things I got to take care of. I got some other things I got to take care of, and I'm going to take a little bit of a break and kind of focus on some other things. I'm going to leave my channel up, but I'm not going to be on the roundtable on Sundays for a little bit, and I'm not going to be on my channel for some time. I just got to get some things taken care of. Some things kind of came to light today with just, life happens, man. Things catch up, and you just got to step back for a minute. And I like to do that from time to time and kind of refocus some things. So that I can keep myself right. That way I can better serve my community, better serve my family and the club. And I need to get some things squared away for myself. And I'm just going to take a little bit of break from everything. And hopefully this movement keeps moving forward. From time to time, I'll pop in when I can. And, this has been a fun deal. And I'm not giving up yet, but I have to take care of the things I have to take care of, and that's just the way things go.
Man,
That's cool. I mean, that sucks not to have you on the round table, but you can start making some videos like tomorrow, and but with your bandwidth, we'll probably see it in a year or two. So,
Well, so everybody prefers that I do these videos inside my shop, which is probably 100 and some odd feet, maybe 150 feet away from my router. So sometimes it comes in great, and sometimes it don't. Tonight's one of those nights where it don't.
yeah, it's called a Euro mesh. I'm about the same distance from my house actually, and I have like great Wi-Fi with that. It's called
Yeah,
the
I'm in a
Euro.
totally different building too, so it's like it just is what it is.
so I just want to tell you this, Shaggy. You really made this show really incredible. Everybody has really enjoyed and learned from what you've done, both here and on your show. Every single one of us has taken a break off of this. I've had a long break. This is a hard thing to do, hard tempo to keep up, and it's very difficult, especially when you're in a club. These are just difficult things to do. But the main part of manhood is handling your damn business, especially your family business and stuff like that. That comes first, above and beyond anything, and that's what a lot of guys in clubs don't know, which is another reason we could have done this show. Is that when it comes time to handle what's a priority, uh, real men step up and handle priorities first. And we ain't going nowhere. Your videos will be replayed and replayed until you're ready to come back and make some more. I will always send you what we're going to be talking about, and if you can come and talk, bro, you're always welcome to be here.
Well, I'll
You and
keep in touch with everybody. I mean, I'm not going to. I've built some really good friendships and brotherhoods doing this, and the subscribers that everybody jumped on. But to me, serve my family, to better serve my club, those two things right there are the most important things to me. And the most important thing is being a good example for both. And um, you know, it's a privilege and an honor to be an invader. It's a privilege and an honor to be my wife's husband and my son's dad, and it's a privilege and an honor just to be a part of this community. And the one message that I've always tried to get across here, and I won't stop, and even if and when I do come back, the message will be: this is the type of mentality that this lifestyle needs. The priorities of being a man, the priorities of what comes first and what comes second, and on, and how your balance is. And the thing is we're in a special lifestyle with a special group of people with a special heart-filled way of living. And I am an invader from head to toe. I am a one percenter from head to toe. I have great people around me, and for all those that want to know how one percenters live, this is exactly how we live: our family and our club, and we do it with honor, class, grace, and we follow the code. And so, keep that positivity going. Keep this thing going with the creators getting together, man. The clubs have been doing it for years, and keep the things I'm saying about making the lifestyle better. Use it as a guide, but get in with those clubs and learn from those guys, and take the time and build those bonds in that brotherhood, because what we've done here every week are building more and more time together in brotherhood. Phone calls between during the week when we're talking about stuff. Those bonds are what make this lifestyle great. And ride your fucking motorcycles.
He said,
fuck.
Again.
But don't worry about taking a break, Shaggy. We've all done it. I've done it myself, mate. I've done it 3 times. The 3 times I went on chemo, man. You have to put your health before anything else, and like you say, your family and your club. So yeah, don't worry about it. We'll still be here.
Yeah.
We'll still be here, and we'll still be pointing people to your content. It's that simple.
Oh, and I'll be watching, and
All your phones will be blowing up, going ha 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 ha. Tell them I said different.
I'm gonna. I really hate to see you go, but I understand. And dude, you've been great. Your show's great. But you've been a good friend to talk to for a while. For long before we started doing this show. So I just want to say thank you for all of that. And I'm not gonna break down crying or nothing, but
Well, I want to thank
Not
you to
while we're
all
on,
you
not,
guys,
not
man.
while we're on
Without
camera
That's
you
why I
anyway.
gave
guys
you the
did.
moon pies there, BD. I gave you the moon pies.
Right. Hey, my wife's
We'll all have
walking in the
we'll
house.
all
Say
have a
moon
cry
pies
when
too
we go
loud.
off
Mississippi.
alive. We'll all have a group hug and cry when we go off from doing the live.
Man, we
We'll
don't
all
cry.
hug in.
We just get drunk and tell lies.
yeah. So I just want to say that I have the greatest amount of love and respect for this lifestyle, and I've always wanted to approach this as uh, uh, something to be positive and to do things better, and to help folks. And I think we've all done that. I think we've all done that in our way. Dibber, how could Dibber know all those years ago, just doing what Dibber does, that he would reach out and affect so many people, and that these years later he would have so many people that care about him, want to know what's going on with him, want to know about his health, and all he did was he was just a genuine person. I mean, we all come from such diverse backgrounds, such different places, such so far apart, but yet we come together as a kindred spirit, wrapped around our love for riding this iron. And I swear to you, this is a love affair for me, that has been there ever since I was a little boy, and I just cannot. We got the Cold Ash Run to the Mother chapter coming up, and my woman is losing her mind. You're not going to go riding with all those kids across the country in the winter, and I'm like, oh yes, the hell I am. So it's and then we've all been in brotherhoods. We've all formed into our brotherhoods that, you know, bikers and clubbers are different. A friend of mine told me all Marines are sailors, but not all sailors are Marines. Well, all clubbers are bikers, but not all bikers are clubbers. So when we form into these clubs, we're bikers on a whole nother level. I need my club. Shaggy said I'm an invader 100%. I'm a Black Sabbath 100%. I feed off these guys. I need them. They are part of me, and I hope that I'm a part of them. I wake up every single solitary day with this club on my mind, in my mouth, in my actions, in my attitudes, in my behaviors, on my phone calls. This is who I have become, and I'm like you, Shaggy. I'm proud to be that. Um, and so I salute you for what you've done. It takes a lot for a 1%er to step out here and educate, um, because it's just so easy for you guys to sit back and laugh at the rest of us, and it you step out here and you get a different set of eyes on you, a bigger, wider set of eyes, and you damn well better be on your business. Uh, and 100% of the time. So you and Bone and the other guys that come on, and then Dibber sitting here, the only guy from the UK. Everybody's looking at him. He's got to, you guys step out here, and I have the greatest amount of respect for you. So, man, appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate that. And the three or four coolest things that's happened is one, um, man, this YouTube creator community is a lot bigger and tighter than what I thought. It was great to be a part of putting this roundtable together and bringing different clubs and different things together. It was cool to see how it evolved to where uh, Wild on Twos and Hollywood are getting the other creators together.
It's good to see the unity to get rid of the bullshit and the fake shit that's being put out on this thing. It's also one of the things that I got to do was actually, even though I've been following you for years, Black Dragon, talk to you, build that relationship and rapport with you, but then also getting to actually meet and talk to one of your very first mentors from a long time ago, old Gibbs up there, man. That was one of the coolest things ever when he called me while I was at National, and that was pretty awesome. And the greatest thing that I've got to do is pay it forward, and I'm not done paying it forward. I hope that message resonates to all. Our elders are leaving us daily. Get the information from them and pass that shit on. Make this lifestyle go way past us, man. So I got to be a part of something very special, and I'm very fortunate because I keep running into these special things in my life. So it's cool to hear that kind of stuff, but I won't be too far away. This has been a really cool experience, and I hope it will continue in the future. But for right now, I just got to do what I got to do, and I'll keep in touch with those here, and I still look at the comments and respond to them, and the community is about village, and it takes a village to keep ourselves squared away and moving forward.
That's cool, man. Wild, anything from you?
No. I mean, like I said, it was great having Shaggy here, and just be able to communicate with him. That's what I liked about the social media in general. Like the positives I talk about, meeting people normally you would never meet, talking to people, relating to people normally you probably wouldn't relate to or think you relate to, and you see how the world is, small. How the state's a small world. The community, it seems big to us sometimes, but it's actually pretty small. And not much to say. I mean, I know I'm going to keep talking to Shaggy. He called me last night quick, which was great. I was going with my old lady to go to a men's club to go eat dinner. And I wanted to stay.
You were going to a men's club? You didn't say that last night when I called you. I'm glad you didn't say that. That conversation
we call it the men's club.
He was going to the Blue Oyster Club.
yeah. I mean,
what's wrong with that?
The police academy's playing right now. Holy shit! That was you in the corner. No wonder you got that care package, Black Dragon.
Damn right. Little toys.
Oh no, he sent that because he cared.
Apparently.
No other reason.
Cared so much he put a fleshlight in it.
Oh,
yeah, no
wow.
shit. You'll never get lost finding your way.
I'm going to concentrate on the Cracker Jacks. Holy moly.
Hey, they quit calling it Cracker Jacks a long time ago. We're now, we want to be called just white Americans. We're good with that.
Is that what it is?
That's profiling.
Yeah.
I understand. Believe me. So Hollywood, you got something, man?
Yeah, man, it's been awesome having Shaggy, all the knowledge that he has given everybody. Hopefully he can take care of what he needs to take care of and be back soon.
Hopefully. Dibber.
Yeah, it's. I'll tell you what, Shaggy. It's been nice getting back to in contact with you again after all these years, man. And it's nice to see some things never change. They wouldn't let us back then.
You
were fucking. You were a proper righteous geezer back in the day, and you're still righteous geezer today. So,
right on. Thank you. That's righteous.
Respect to you, man. Respect always. And you know where I am, man. I'm at the end. I'm at the end of that old messenger for you anytime, man. Just remember there's 6 hours difference, I think it is, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
God, what time is it there? Jesus.
We got other news real quick.
Nearly 20 to 3.
Real quick, BD. Our thoughts go out to those that don't know Caesar Campbell. He was part of the Milpera massacre back in the Bandito. He passed away. We're going to confirm that, but they're saying the 12th of October, Caesar passed away.
Let me just have a look. I'll just check it now.
Anybody know author?
I think I've got someone I can check it with right now.
Don't
that
let
would.
Shaggy check. It'll take forever for him to get on his Wi-Fi.
Well, it's not
But that's
that. It'd take me forever to find the Google spot.
He was part of the he was the Campbell brothers. He's damn was he mighty in Australia.
Well, we definitely are sorry to hear that, and we'd like to send to the roundtable our thoughts and condolences to his nation and definitely his family. And he now rides, waiting for us to come up there to see him in the sky. So, bad news all around with that.
There's nothing on any of my Aussie friends' pages. No, there's nothing on any of my Aussie friends' pages.
Yeah, take a look into it because we just got notified.
It might have just literally just happened then. Hang on a minute. Let me have a try it with his real name because his real name's Colin.
Because if this is the case, man, that's a giant.
Oh yeah, definitely without a doubt. Let me just have a look. Like I say, I've got a few
That goes
people.
to show how important the elders are, man. I mean, it really does.
Let's have a look.
They're saying Tuesday the 12th of October, Dibs.
Let's have a look. No, there's nothing here, man. No, I'm not seeing anything here. There's nothing on any of my Aussie friends' pages about it.
All right, we'll keep looking into it.
It's sometimes this news can take time to travel, and obviously you know how things are. A lot of this stuff. I mean, he's very well known throughout the world. Even when I'm even doing a web search here, there's no news on him on a web search.
Yeah, I'm not finding anything either, Hollywood.
News.
Well, this is a pretty good source, so I'll be checking into it.
Yeah, check into it because I mean I've got a couple of people I can get in touch with in the Aussie scene to find out. So I'll look into it myself as well. There, James.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Even looking under his real name, you know, Colin Caesar Campbell, Colin Campbell, Colin Caesar Campbell Bandidos, ex Bandidos enforcer Colin Caesar Campbell. There's nothing coming up.
Yeah, he's like the Sonny over in Australia. This guy is something else. So we'll check into it.
Yeah, there's nothing really coming up here about him. And that's front page news. You know, that would be like top of the search engine. There's nothing there.
Yeah,
there's nothing there. You know, maybe it's wishful thinking on somebody's part, but
this is a pretty reliable source. This one, it's from the inside. But we'll check it out.
Yeah. I was going to say, unless they've decided not to make any statements about him. You know, I don't think the club would anyway, because he hasn't been associated with that club for a long time. So,
right. Well, that would suck.
Yeah, it would. I mean, he's one of the old school, isn't he? He really just didn't give a fuck. You know, if business needed to be if business needed to be taken care of, he did it.
He was hardcore. Hopefully, it's not true, but we'll check into it.
Yeah, I don't see anything either. So hopefully, yeah, I'm looking as well.
Yeah, I can't see anything. There's nothing on any of my Aussie mates' Facebook pages either when I do a search on there. So, and there would be with those guys. I'm telling you, if something had happened.
Yeah, if you can check around and see if this was because damn.
All right, as soon as we finish this live, I'll get on it straight away. It's one of the things I'm very good at is getting information.
Yes.
No,
yes,
he's just huge, and that kind of kicked me in the heart seeing that one.
Well, guys, I think we've covered it for the night. We want clubs to do great, and we want clubs to do great things, and it's just been my pleasure. We're going to continue to bring these roundtables and continue to bring you the kind of guys out here that you can trust and guys that have experience doing this thing. And that's what we're going to do. Any last statements by anybody?
Yeah, I'll be on the radio in about 15 minutes.
I'm going to go sit on the toilet and have a good dump.
Live free, fly your colors, love your brothers, fornicate with loose women, and live the lifestyle the right way.
Yeah,
always have a good sniff first, though.
Or if anybody wants to
make sure it don't
my
smell
channel,
bad.
I need one more for 8,000. That'll be great. One
So
sub for 8,000.
we see your T-shirt tonight, Wild. Lord have mercy.
I just watched that Friday night.
Oh, did he?
Yes, I did.
Well, look here, man. That's our 2 cents. We'll see you next week, Sunday, on the Roundtable, Bikers Roundtable. Goodbye to Shaggy, but still go check out his content at Shaggy's Corner. Dibber in the Wind. Check Dibber out. Dibber in the Wind YouTube channel.
Stay safe, everyone.
Take
And
care, Dibber. Thank you for coming on.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
And Wild on Twos, we want to check you out on your channel there, Wild on Twos. Love you. Hollywood Insane Throttle. Check him out on his stuff. Wow, man. Complete huge night as always. Bone 1%er wasn't able to come on tonight, but we expect to have him back pretty soon, next week or something like that. So in my opinion, clubs have to do their due diligence to keep things moving in a positive direction. The reason that clubs are having the problems and the issues that they're having, especially with people that they don't know, they're bringing people on too fast. They're not being as diligent as they could be. And there's just kind of, in my opinion, a lackadaisical kind of attitude. A lot of the traditions and norms and regulations are slipping or just outright being changed by the younger generation that comes in. When you give folks your patch, then it becomes their patch too, and they get together and make voting decisions. And if you haven't trained them properly, by the time they start voting and they're able to vote, you could be just absolutely surprised at the kind of things they do. So stop giving passes, stop giving breaks, make people earn the patch the same way you did. And perhaps, as the Bible says, when you have a child that's young, raise them in the way that they should go, and when they get older, they shall not depart that way, or something like that. When you're raising your MC brothers correctly, and you're taking the time to vet them out, taking the time to find out who they are, taking the time to follow the norms and traditions of the MC, perhaps you will get a much better result in the end. Anyway, thank you all. You can get us Black Dragon Biker TV on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. My 30-day moratorium has been lifted. I am back on Facebook. I can't go Facebook Live for another 30 days, but I'm back on Facebook, Instagram TV, and I'm getting ready to start my TikTok. I'll have that up in a couple days. Rider Republic, riderrep.com is the t-shirt for the ice cold riders up there in the north up there where they are. And so they want you to stop by and get some of their gear. This is some of their gear. It's pretty cool. And bikerliberty.com is my online news magazine, bikerliberty.com. Also, the podcast is the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos. I want you to check out the podcast. It's actually being simulcast right now. Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast. We are syndicated across all those places. My books are out on hardcover. And right now, my books are the #1 sellers in their category on Amazon for hardbacks in motorcycle history. So make sure that if you haven't gotten my books yet, Prospects Bible, Sergeant at Arms Bible, and President's Bible are all now hardbacks. BikerLiberty.com, the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos, YouTube, Black Dragon Biker TV, Facebook, Black Dragon Biker, Instagram, Black Dragon Biker TV, TikTok, Black Dragon Biker TV. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. I'd love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.